Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Recently I've been doing some internal testing for Roguebook, which is a new roguelike deck builder developed here in Belgium, where I live. It's in the genre of kind of Slay the Spire. It has a twist that you control two characters, and it has this really cool modular gem card system, which we'll get into in a minute. Now, one of the interesting things Roguebook does is that it gives you some random cards mixed into your starter deck. And in this run, I started off with Volley, which is a 4-cost attack that scales quadratically. If you have 9 strength, it'll hit 10 times 10, 100 damage. And if you have 19 strength, it'll do 20 times 20, 400 damage. So you can see how it ramps up very quickly if you can set it up. This card has a lot of demands, and when you try to think about building a deck with Volley in it, you can start to make kind of like a mental checklist of what that deck needs. So, first of all, you need to be able to pay its casting cost. You start off with only 3 energy a turn, and this thing costs 4. Secondly, you need to be able to increase their strength by a lot. Sirocco's kit is set up to be able to work with headbangs. These are 1-cost cards that will increase Sirocco's strength by 3 each for the next attack only. So if you don't attack, you can just keep stacking up the strength until you get however much you need to fire off a big volley. Now with that, a successful volley deck will not have other Sirocco attacks being cast, which is a pretty big drawback because Sirocco has very powerful area of effect AoE spells. It's how you normally get through the early game, which has a lot of early multi-enemy fights. Sacrificing that is a pretty big drawback. The first thing we do is visit the store, which is available right away. Interestingly, if we want to have Shara be our damage dealer, this has like all the dagger cards in the store. But I am looking at the pump up. It makes you 2 headbangs, and we want to get a lot of headbangs, so I'm also having my eye on this boomerang in the shop. I know we're going to need this pump up, so I'm fine with buying it right away. Don't have enough money for the boomerang. And then we visit a Vault of Wisdom. We get quite lucky here. We see Bold Bargainer. It's a ally, so it's kind of like a planeswalker type of thing. It's a thing that you can use in combat. You can click on it to discard a card and gain an energy. So right away we solved our energy problem. We can get now to 4 energy in a turn. And then we go to our first fight. It's these little sheep things. Probably have a different name. I don't really follow lore in games. We kill 2 of them, and then we shoot the last one for 100 damage. So in an easy fight, we have some time to set up. We earn some more money. I go to the store to buy a boomerang and put it on our pump up. The idea being that each cycle through my deck, I will be able to play the pump up a couple times. It's slow, but it's a start. And of course our deck isn't really quite there yet. It takes us a while to kind of get set up. This is a fight where the enemies are asleep for a couple of turns, and then they wake up and basically nuke you. So the first turn they're awake, I don't have everything set up. I don't have the volley, and eat 30 in the face and pray to draw the volley next turn, which I do. And you can see already, it'd be nice if we always had access to the volley when we wanted it, because sometimes we get up to the strength threshold that we need on one turn, but we have to wait till our deck cycles through. We'll come back to that later. Next we come to this event, which gives you the option of 3 different cards. And this time I take the mirror, which is the combo-oriented option. It gives you 3 copies of the last card that you played, which can do some very broken things. Now it's probably just going to give me more pump-ups. Later on we are offered Fan of Knives. This card lets you dissolve up to 3 cards in your hand and create daggers. They're just little 0-cost attacks that on their own don't really do a lot of damage. I take it here because in our deck we have we start with various attacks that are not volley, which we never want to play. So at worst, we want to dissolve those, get them out of our deck. Maybe we can do something else with it. Act 1 boss, we let Shara die for the battle. She comes back alive. Whenever you beat an act boss, you get this choice of rewards between a gem and 3 cards. Almost always you're taking the gem, and this is a pretty interesting thing about the game, is that you get the gems and you could put it on a card right away, but often it's best to hold on to it and find kind of like the perfect match for it. So we're going to take this topaz gem. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We'll find something. I know what I'm going to do with it because I played this run like 2 months ago. Act 2 store, we see an ogre cookie. It permanently reduces the cost of another card by 2 when you play it. Well, permanently for the battle. And we get another boomerang there. We'll keep an eye on those. Can I just say, I love the art in this game. I don't know who this guy is. This weird rat mafia dude. I love the look of him. I pay him to remove a card from my deck. Next we look at this gem thing. Probably has a name. You get a choice of 2 different gems. One of them here is the retain gem. A card with the retain gem in it doesn't discard at the end of your turn. You know what we're doing. Put it in the volley. Now normally when I'm drafting cards, I'm quite slow. I sit there and I really try to think about what the best move is. Sometimes it's like 2 minutes of me on the screen thinking about which card to click on. We're going to play this one in real time. Alright, if you missed that, here's the card. It is Rising Tempo. It is a Shara card. It says whenever you play a card this turn, you draw a card. It's not technically infinite because it has the drawback that you can't shuffle your draw pile to go again. We're going to make it infinite. Remember that gem we got earlier? We're going to put that new Rising Tempo card in our starting hand. And here's the combo. Start the battle, play Rising Tempo. We now have infinite card draw. We have a boomeranging ogre cookie. We want to make that cost 0. So we play the ogre cookie. We play the mirror to make another ogre cookie. Play the new ogre cookie to make the boomeranging ogre cookie cost 0. Now a big bottleneck in the deck at this point is that we only have a 10 card hand size. What we do have is a fan of knives. Now we can dissolve 3 cards, and then these little daggers that we have, they draw us new cards in our newly opened up hand. We keep on playing cards until all that's left is a 0 cost ogre cookie and a 0 cost pump up. The pump up gives us block and strength. We can play these over and over because they both have boomerang. We keep drawing from the Rising Tempo, and by the end of the turn we have infinite strength and infinite block. Our volley retains, so we untap, get our energy for the next turn, and start of turn 2, we kill everything, every time. Thank you for watching. This has been Anatomy of a Combo. Hope you liked it.